Okay, children. Now, if you are clear about the decimal expansion of the rational numbers, so now we can do your first question of our exercise 1.3. Look here. Question number 1. Write the following in a decimal form and say what kind of decimal expansion each has. Right? So you have to do whatever we have done like this. You have to show the division of every part and you have to write it in this manner, and then in front of it you will write whether it is terminating or whether it is non-terminating but repeating. All questions are simple. I don't think so there is any need to describe you any of it. First 36 upon 100 you can easily divide, see all of them. 4 1 by 8, this is a whole number, this is written in the fraction. You know how to make it into the mixed one. Mixed is given, so you make it a fraction and then you can divide it. Similarly, these 6 bars. So this is what we have done. Moving on to the second question. You know that 1 by 7 is equals to 0.142857. We have done this division. Can you predict what the decimal expansion of 2 by 7, 3 by 7, 4, 5 and 6 by 7 are without actually doing the long division? So you are not supposed to do the long division which we have done in this question. So you are not going to do the long division, but without doing the long division you need to tell what they have asked for. So how we are going to tell the decimal expansion, whether it is going to be terminating or non-terminating but repeating? So see how we're going to do this. 1 by 7, this long division we have done 1 by 7. This is the answer, right? If this is the answer, that means this kind of division is non-terminating but this is repeating, right? So if this is non-terminating but repeating, 1 by 7, right? If 1 by 7 is non-terminating but repeating, what about 2 by 7? So you already know from the previous classes that if we can write 1 by 7 and we know the answer to this, right? And if we have to write it 2 by 7, so how could we write 2 by 7? This can be written as 2 into 1 by 7, right? So we can write it like this also. So what is the process here? What you need to do is you are going to write this fraction in this form, 2 into 1 by 7. Now you have already done the division and you know the answer to this question is this one. So what simply we have to do here is we are just going to multiply 2 into 0.142857. This is what we need to do. So when we are going to multiply 2 into 0.142857, I have already solved this answer. This is the answer you will get. So 1 by 7, answer is this. And if we have to find out 2 by 7, you just have to multiply 2 into 0.142857 and you will get this answer. So you'll just simply write that 2 by 7 is equals to 2 into 0.142857 and 7. This will be your answer. So that is 0.285714. You need to put the bar on it. So this will be your answer. Okay, so this is how. Similarly you will do 3 by 7. So how are you going to do 3 by 7? 3 into 1 by 7. If I multiply 2 into this, you'll do it 3 into. So similarly you'll find out all the parts they have asked for: 2 by 7, 3 by 7, 4 by 7, 5 by 7 and 6 by 7. So we are not doing the long division here, right? But so without doing the long division, this is how we're going to solve the question. Okay, so this is your second question. In your homework now you will do question number 1 and you can do question number 2 as well. Now moving on to the next portion, that is the next step. Now let's start with it. Okay, now as you are very much clear about the decimal expansions, the next thing we are going to do here is this question. Now the another thing, now suppose if you walk on the number line, which we have done last day. So what was that? If we are going to walk on the number line, you come across the numbers, right? There are plenty of the numbers. Like if you come across this type of number, see, I have written one number here. If you are going on the number line, you're moving on the number line, and if you see that this number is there on the number line, can you tell what is the decimal expansion is terminating? What do you think? Is decimal expansion is terminating? Yes or no? It is. It is terminating, right? So, and if the number is like 1.2, if I give you the number as 1.272727, so what type of decimal expansion this is of? This is, that means 27 is repeating itself time and again. So it is non-terminating recurring, or we can say that non-terminating but repeating. Okay. So this is terminating and this is non-terminating but recurring. So from this, can you conclude that it is a rational number? Till now, whatever you have done is you've been given the rational numbers and you have changed them into the decimal expansions. Now your questions will be, you'll be given the decimal expansions and you have to write them in a form of the rational number, that is P by Q. And by now you are very much clear that the decimal expansions of the rational numbers, right, these have only two choices. Either they can be terminating like this or they can be non-terminating but repeating. There are only two choices for the rational number. And now our second type of the question, this is first type of the question, right? And the second type of the question you will get is show that, or the question will be express any decimal number will be given to you in a is a rational number, or it is you have to write this in the form of P by Q, where P and Q are integers and Q is not equals to 0. So let's start with the first one. So this type of the question, the first one, how are you going to write it? Show that this is a rational number, or write it in the form of P by Q. This is going to be a question, right? So this you easily know that if there is a decimal, right, 3.142678 is the number. Now we don't want this decimal. What we used to do, you've already done it in your previous classes, right? So we just write the number 0.3142678, and what we're going to write? We are going to write in the denominator as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many zeros we need to put? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now see, can we write it in the form of P by Q? This is written now in the form of P by Q. Is it an integer? Yes, it is an integer. What about this? This is also an integer. So where P and Q are integers and Q is not equals to 0, so we have represented this decimal expansion in the form of P by Q, or rational number. So this will be our answer. Fine. Or you can cut it to the lowest form, that is up to you. But we have to just write it in the form of P by Q. Clear? So what type of decimal it will be? This rational number will be terminating. This will be terminating. Right? Moving on to the next type of the question. Show that 0.333 can be expressed in the form of P by Q, where Q is not equals to 0. These type of the questions you will get it in the 2 marks or in the 3 marks question, depends upon the question. So now see how we're going to do this. This is important one. You will get this question again in your FAs or essays. So I'll do one example and I'll give you 2-3 more examples to do. Try to do that, right? So now show that 0.333, and I've already told you that this number, this decimal expansion can be written as 0.3 bar, right? Can be expressed in the form of P by Q. So in this question, we have to show that this decimal expansion can be written in the form of P by Q, where Q is not equals to 0. Or the question can be show that this is a rational number, or they'll write down the whole statement like can be expressed in the form of P by Q, where Q is not equals to 0. So in these type of the question, what we are going to do here is, so since we do not know that 0.3 this bar, right, how many threes are there, we are not aware of this thing, right? There can be any number of the threes there. Bar means only nothing. So let us, what we are going to start, how we're going to start the question is, let us call this as x. So how we're going to say, let x equals to 0.3 3, 3, 3. You know that we can write this 3 bar as this. This is going to be our first thing, the first step. Let x equals to whatever question decimal expansion is given to you. We are going to assume that let x is equals to 0.3333. Write it in the full. Okay. So the next step, right now, you have to see that decimal bar is on how many digits? Bar is on only one digit. Now what is our trick here is we want this 3 to be on this side of the decimal, right? So for this, what we need to do, this we know it, that if we want 3 on this side, we need to multiply the whole statement by 10. If we're going to multiply this decimal expression by 10, we'll be able to move this 3 towards this side. Fine. So what we're going to do, you just have to write down here that multiply both sides. This you have to write in your fair notebooks also. Multiply both sides by 10. So if we're going to multiply this, 10 into x, LHS, 10 into 0.3333 and so on. Solve this. 10 into x is going to give us 10x. This. So if we are going to multiply, need not to, I think, tell you, still I'll solve this. This if you have to multiply 0.3333 and so on with 10, we know that this decimal will move towards this side. So our this thing answer is fine. Mark this as second. Now what will be our next step? We are going to subtract first from second. You have to write the statement, subtract first from second. So 10x minus x, this is 10x, this is x. 10x minus x equals to 3.333 and so on, minus this, that is 0.333, like this. So we are going to see that if we are going to subtract this number, what will be our answer? This is what we are getting it as this, right? So 10x minus x means 10x minus x is going to give us 9x. Here, what was our answer when we subtracted? We get it as 3. So here this is going to be 3. Now you know if there is multiplication, we need to find out the value of x. So we'll bring this 9 towards this side, and if it is multiplication, it will be changed into division. Cancel, right? So this is 1 by 3. So now we can say that x is equals to 1 by 3. Show that equation 0.3 bar can be expressed in the form of p by q. This was the decimal expansion given, and see, we have changed this decimal expansion into the p by q form, where q is not equals to 0. So this is how we are going to solve the questions. 2 marker or 3 marker question these will be. I hope it is clear. Let us revise once more. Show that 0.3 bar, or it will be written like this, or it will be written like this. It's one and the same thing. You should know how to write this and how to write this. Can be expressed in the form of p by q, where q is not equals to 0. So what is the first step we have to do here is let x equals to 0.3333. Write it as first. Now what will be our next step is always just see the bar is on how many digits. This is the simple thing, simple trick. What we have done here is that you will not be able to see how many digits you are supposed to multiply by 10, 100 or 1000. So what you have to see here is the bar. If the bar is on 1 digit, we are going to multiply that by 10. If the bar is on 2 digits, we are going to multiply that by 100. If the bar is on 3 digits, we are going to multiply the whole thing by 1000, and rest of the process will remain the same. Let's see, multiply both sides by 10. So 10 into x equals to 10 into 0.333. Solve. This is what we have got. After multiplication, the next step is subtract. Subtract first from second. 10x minus x equals to this, right? So we have shown the subtraction also. This is how we got the answer as 10x minus x is going to give us 9x, and this is equals to this minus this is going to give us 3. So x equals to 3 by 9 equals to 1 by 3. And so this is written in the form of P by Q. Children, I try to use the simplest possible method. There are 2 more methods to do the question. So it is up to you. You can follow whatever method you want to. If you know another method, you definitely can go for that and do that. We don't mind. But your answer and method has to be correct. Okay.